A group of marathon enthusiasts gathered in Inner Mongolia for this year's Genghis Grassland Extreme Marathon. In its sixth year, the participants ranged anywhere from seasoned veterans to first-timers. But some of the runners came to the grassland with a cause in mind. Operation Smile is an international nonprofit organization that does free cleft lip surgery for children.
Well, we linked up with Nordic Ways when I found out about this race, and really, for us, we wanted to raise money, of course. Each surgery in China costs 5,000 RMB. So each team member, we've got 25 team members, their goal was to raise 5,000 RMB, and they reached out to their friends, family, supporters.
Runners gathered by the starting line early in the morning and went through their pre-race routines. Racers from around the world made the 12-hour bus ride from Beijing, and they were excited to get things going.
I'm feeling great. I see a blue sky, I see fresh air, I feel fresh air, and I'm looking forward not to get lost in this grassland because I can't see really the small stickers. But I hope if I follow the other runners, I will make a great run.
I don't know, 3 hours, 45, I don't know, 4 hours. I don't know really what to expect. I think that's kind of the fun though.
At 7 o'clock sharp, the starting gun went off, and runners one by one started to make their way toward the grassland. This year, over 400 runners from around the world set out to challenge the rolling hills that the great Mongol leader Genghis Khan once conquered. While some runners took part in the 10-kilometer run and half marathon, the more experienced runners decided to trek the full 42 kilometers on the fabled grassland of Inner Mongolia. Every 5 kilometers, volunteers handed out water to help runners combat the summer heat. The race organizers chose the unique grassland of Inner Mongolia to give runners something different to experience. Instead of running through the busy city streets populated by skyscrapers and cars, in Inner Mongolia, the participants run on the far-flung grassland instead. Here, animals far outnumber the inhabitants as runners got a true taste of nature. Scott tackled the race at a steady pace, while Sarah led the women's division from the start. At the finish line, the first group of 10K and half marathon participants made their way back to town. The locals, in which most of them have never been to a live sporting event, got their first taste of what a marathon looks like. While back on the race course, the full marathon runners continued their battles with the boundless stretches of grassland. After 3 hours of running, they started making their way back to town. Scott, despite being his first time running a marathon, finished at an incredible 8th place and with a time of 3 hours and 49 minutes.
I'm feeling a little rough. It was a tough race, but you know I'm really proud of it and looking forward to my next one.
A few minutes later, Sarah also made her way back to the finish line in just under 4 hours and took home first place in the women's division.
I feel great. I feel very tired, but I'm very happy to have somehow made it to first female. I don't know how I did that, but it was a really beautiful race. I mean, just stunning. And I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know how tough it would be. I didn't know what the scenery would be like, but I'm so glad I made it out here. It's really beautiful.
One runner got his daily dosage of push-ups in before making his way toward the finish line. While another participant decided to share the moment of accomplishment with his daughter.
After these 42 kilometers, then you feel so great. So everybody should run 40K. After 30, you try to give up, but then you just force yourself to go on. And then there was this long, long, long hill. So, but I'm okay.
Reporting for East West Sports on BON, I'm Howard Penn.
So let's welcome Howard into the studio now. So Howard, how does this Genghis Khan marathon, other than the name of course, differ from your typical marathon?
You know, Aaron, the typical marathon takes place on the pavement on the city street when the organizers block off sections of the city just for the marathon. But for the Genghis Khan Grassland Extreme Marathon, as the name suggests, the race took place on the grassland instead. The race had quite a number of rolling hills and that the runners had to run through, and that certainly added another dimension that runners don't see very often. And on race day, a lot of the locals came out to the finish line to cheer on the runners. And they're really excited about the event. A lot of the kids asked the runners for their autographs and asked to take pictures with them. And just really a great opportunity for the locals to experience something that they don't normally get to see.